The Broncos have traded quarterback Case Keenum to the Washington Redskins. They got a 6th-round pick for it. And this is a really, I think, a good trade. Here's why. If you've ever wrecked your car, you're heartbroken, you're disappointed, you don't know what to do next. And you go rent a car from Enterprise or whatever you do, you rent a car. Case Keenum is a rental car. Case Keenum is not a long-term solution, but he is a stopgap. He gives you a short-term plan until you can figure out the next plan. You crash your car, you don't have a car, you get a rental car, it buys you some time so you can figure out how to buy a car, or maybe your friend gives you a car, you never know. But Case Keenum is exactly that. He's a stopgap. He's a rental car. He's an average quarterback. In 2018, he had 18 touchdowns, 15 interceptions, a 62% completion percentage. And I did actually have almost 4,000 yards. Like, he's not awful. He's a very mediocre, like 6 out of 10, 5.5, maybe 6.5, a middle-of-the-road, solid quarterback. But solid. He brings stability to your franchise. But he's certainly not going to win any games with his arm. Here is why the Redskins wanted Case Keenum and why Case Keenum is good for the Redskins. Last season, the Redskins quarterback Alex Smith had a gruesome injury. He broke his leg. He missed the rest of the year in 2018. And this year in 2019, he's not going to play a single down. He had gotten an infection in his knee. It's awful. Might end his career. Also, by the way, Alex Smith is 34 years old, and in May, he'll be 35. So a common belief has been that the Redskins are going to draft a quarterback in the 2019 NFL draft. That is a common belief. Either they'll draft a quarterback or the Redskins will trade for Josh Rosen, the Cardinals quarterback. But this is why I love the Redskins trading for Case Keenum is Case Keenum is insurance. If something doesn't work out, right? If somehow the Bengals don't, if every quarterback gets drafted, they don't get the quarterback they want, and somehow they're not able to trade for Josh Rosen, at least the Redskins will have their insurance policy, Case Keenum. He won't be great, he won't be incredible, but he's okay. He's a good short-term plan that gets you from being awful to okay at quarterback. You want to be okay. The worst thing you can do in the NFL is be completely miserable and awful. With Case Keenum, at least the Redskins won't be miserable and awful. Plus, what if you draft a young quarterback and he's not ready? What Case Keenum does is just gives their team flexibility. It's so good for the Redskins. They only gave up a 6th-round pick. It's nice. It works for the Broncos. The Broncos don't have to pay the rest of his contract. They're both splitting it, so the Redskins are paying half of Case Keenum's contract. The Broncos are also paying half, so the Broncos lost a lot of cap. They gained cap room by trading him. And the Redskins got a life raft. I mean, if your ship sinks, you need something to get you through for a little while until you can figure out the new plan. That is what Case Keenum is. He's a life raft. He's a rental car, whatever you want to say. Case Keenum, if all else fails, the Redskins have Case Keenum, and he can play average at quarterback and save them from being terrible. I really like the fact the Redskins traded for Case Keenum. When I first heard it, I went, that's weird. I don't understand that. And the more I thought about it, the more I went, oh, that makes sense. He can mentor a young quarterback. He can play if he needs. And if somehow all your plans fail and you don't get a quarterback, at least you have Case Keenum, and at least he's not awful. He's not good. Not really. He's solid. He's like okay, but he's not as bad as Colt McCoy, right? The worst thing you can have is Mark Sanchez, Colt McCoy. No offense to Josh Johnson. You don't want Josh Johnson. You don't want an awful quarterback. And Case Keenum is not awful. He's solid. He's okay. He's good for the Washington Redskins. My name is Zach Schaumler. This is my podcast, Strong Opinion Sports. It is my favorite thing in the entire world. And I want to ask for your help. I want this show to grow. I want more people to watch and more people to listen to this podcast. My dream is to do this show as my full-time job. I want to own it myself. I want to do it on the internet and have complete control. I don't want to do it for CBS or ESPN. I don't want to work for a big network. I want to own it myself. And if you believe in that dream, please do me a huge favor. Help me grow by telling your friends about this podcast. Share it on Facebook, share a link on Twitter, maybe you screenshot it, put it on Instagram. I don't have a marketing strategy beyond this. This is all I have. You know, a lot of people, one of the most common comments I get on YouTube is, you have great content. We love your stuff. You deserve more viewers. What you should do is you should buy ad spaces on Facebook or Twitter or promote yourself and buy revenue, like buy ads. I have no money. I am a broke college kid. I can't buy ad spaces. I don't have money to pay for books. And so my plan, this is my marketing plan, this is my strategy. All I plan to do is put every ounce of effort I have into making the very best podcast I can. I believe if I make a great product that people believe in, that people like, then they will share it with their friends. And so if you agree with that, if you believe in the show, if you like what I do, please do me a huge favor. Tell your friends about it. Help me grow by telling your friends about this podcast.